In the last 2 years, I used to weigh like 336 pounds. I lost 130 of that, and now I'm kind of into bodybuilding a little bit and into like Olympic lifting. So that was probably one of my greatest challenges in life.
Overcoming self. Realizing that, you know what I'm saying, no matter how much growth, no matter how much knowledge, no matter how much wisdom I say I have or others may say I have, I'm still at pretty much ground zero. We couldn't scratch the surface if we lived thousands of lives to know what there is to know. So it's always a constant thing of growth, and that understanding has allowed me to keep myself from being arrogant about where I am and where I'm going.
Realizing that being happy is what's worth it. You're going to have ups and downs in your life, and money triumphs and triumphs with a new wife, but being happy is the best triumph. And that's what I strive for every day. It's all an attitude. Happiness is something you believe. It's personal. I want to be happy, so I am. And things that happen that aren't pleasant, I deal with them and then accept it and move on to the happy things.
Greatest trial of personal growth. I think after college, when I was thinking about where I wanted to be with my life, because I didn't really have anything set after going to college, and I know I didn't want to stay living with my parents forever, and I always knew as a kid I didn't want to do what many people in my family were doing. So trying to figure that out, eventually going away to grad school to finally get the answer, and then in grad school struggling to get the opportunities that I have now. It's never been an easy thing, both because of things internally where I don't really know, or I have things holding me back or that I think are holding me back, and then external factors such as institutions or other people that may not necessarily think I'm either good enough or may not necessarily think I belong or whatever else. Certainly those years after I graduated from college, I think I had to do quite a bit of digging and trying to get myself out of a hole that I thought I was in. Looking back, those were some years I wouldn't relive, so to speak, but they're definitely years in which I learned a lot of things about myself and gained a lot of knowledge that I use now and that I've used in the past to great effect. So,
you know, I think that the sort of 22-year-old moving away from home, you know, and kind of living outside of the country, living in Europe for a while was, you know, pretty eye-opening, pretty illuminating, and it gave me like a broader perspective on who I was and my place in the world.
I've had very bad anger issues, and just trying to get over that was very hard. I didn't go through classes and everything, but I just did examples on the internet and did that, and it really helped me grow as a person too.
Mine was probably getting a job. I really had very bad social anxiety, and I couldn't go out in public or either really attend high school without not being able to leave or have a panic attack. And I decided to get a job, and it's probably the most growth I've ever went through, because I'm not saying it cured me, but it did help me like a world's worth, just getting out in public and being able to talk to someone like you. Because without being as young as I was and starting to work like I did, I probably wouldn't have saw myself just coming up to you and just being able to talk the way I am today. So that's probably the most growth I've had, is getting a job, honestly.
5 years ago, I guess, I had a motorcycle accident, and I was up on Mount Washington, and it was way out of my skill set, but I got up there, and then coming down, I didn't do it correctly, and I lost my brakes. So I was free-falling down the mountain, and it was either going off the cliff or going into the side of the mountain, and I went into an area, got stopped by stones, and broke an ankle, was a brush with death. And so that sent me on a completely unexpected journey about what I really want in life. Well, I questioned everything. I questioned, am I happy with my marriage? Am I happy doing this? What is it I really want to do? And if I am unhappy with it, I need to change it. And it just forced me to relook at everything. And I eventually did end up getting divorced. And the hardest thing I ever did was something I felt I was forced to do in a sense, because I was unhappy, and being that close to death taught me I have only so much time left, and I need to do what I need to do, and I did it. But it was really, 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 really hard. It was a marriage of 38 years, so yeah.
Learning to keep my mouth shut sometimes when I want to say something and thinking better of it. That's a trial for me. There's plenty of times I'm proud of not saying it, but yeah, I've said some doozies that you can't take back.
I got it.
Go for it.
The time that I was going to be homeless, my dog died. We had to put him down. My cousin died, and it was Christmas. That was rough. That sucked. That took a minute because it was during the pandemic, and my mom was sick. And it sucked. But hey, I came out of it, and I still had both parents intact.
Getting the job as the director of the Lexington Children's Museum was a big achievement. Since I was totally unqualified for the position, I sort of talked myself into it. I wasn't qualified to run a museum in any way.
It's very ugly, but it's leaving a bad marriage. That's really all I want to share.
Battling methamphetamine, not for my personal self, but for the loved ones. We got to do it together. We can't leave them behind. They're not garbage. Without their souls, we can't win. Methamphetamine loses your soul. Hard drugs do. Keep your soul and you can go. Amen.
Meeting my wife. Meeting my wife, it made me grow as a better person. And producing great children and beautiful daughter-in-law and beautiful grandchildren. My 2 granddaughters. My family.
He's gonna cry. We get emotional as we get older. Yeah. That's personal growth. Personal growth, yeah.
Yes. Greatest trial. I would say in the past 3 years, 4 years maybe, many of those people and things that I thought I loved, cherished, valued, was shown to me by God. Veils were removed, and I was shown that those people I thought loved me did not love me. I was shown that those things I thought I accomplished and achieved weren't so much accomplishments and achievements, and that I had been still living somewhat of a lie. I think that has been one of the, what was the question? How do I say it? It was one of the greatest trials, and I'm still on that. I'm still within that, but it helped me realize how strong I am as one man. You know what I'm saying? It helped me realize that we are all, many of us, so very confused, so very, very confused and blinded by things. And it also showed me that when you truly submit to the Creator, you will be taken care of, you will be provided for. The hurt is going to be realizing how long you were wrong. You know? So that was the one of the most trying things, realizing that for 15 or more years I had been making mistakes, and that I now had to do the work of undoing the mistakes and then do better from there.
Getting used to college, being here away from my family, and learning to kind of adapt to being surrounded by mostly strangers every day, and kind of getting over that, and kind of going through and evolving as a person, and making it so that it's not surrounded by strangers every day, it's now surrounded by friends every day.
Just to become more mature in life and to be a human being, period, because I was so childish. I had to learn how to mature and become more adult and learn how to handle things more adult way than to be childish. When I had my daughter, this is my daughter, she's a year and a half now, so when I had her, it was that turning point to go ahead and step up and mature and become a more adult than what I was. A lot of things have changed in my life. A lot of things that I used to do in my life, I don't even hardly do none of that stuff no more. So I know for a fact that I matured and I growed up.
I have a lot floating through my brain, but probably watching someone close to you pass away. I think that was probably one of the biggest trials. Just knowing that there's nothing that you can do to help when it's their time, and kind of just watching it, especially if they had a huge impact on your life, kind of just watching it too. It's a huge trial, you know. Yeah, so I've had several family members, several friends And then I work with people that are in crisis, so I often have people pass away every week. So, yeah. Got dark, sorry. Yeah.